Alright, I hit record. I don't have bullet points, I'm just gonna figure this out. What's sweet, my peeps? It's Mia Garcia, and I'm back with another video, woohoo! So I don't even know if I like this angle, cause it's, the positioning is kinda weird. Let me see if I can fix it real quick. Alrighty, that's like slightly better. I don't know. Alright, so let's just get into this video. I just don't like that it's like, this is how it normally is, and you can just see like my nostrils. That's weird? It's probably normal, and I'm just overthinking. I just wish it was kind of like that. But if I go any lower, I'm going out of frame. So... What is this? What is this video? I don't know what this video is. I'm just gonna scoot in. You're just gonna see more of my face, I guess? I don't know. Anyways. Alright, so hi, I'm Mia Garcia, and I wanted to talk about birthdays today because it's my birthday today. Not actually on the day I'm recording this. The day I'm recording it, it's the 24th of June. But when I put this out, it'll be my birthday, and I will be 22. But right now I'm 21, which is weird to say because to me I've been 22 since January. Maybe even December of last year. And that's because I was really looking forward to June. I was thinking that I would be back to wrestling and stuff, so my mindset was very much on June. To the point where I already felt like I was 22. I don't know if that's weird or not. I did this to myself when I was 16. I remember I was gonna be graduating, and I was graduating early, so it felt like I was 17 going on 18, but I was actually 16 going on 17. But the first half of the year, I had already felt 17 years old. So I kind of did the same thing. I already feel like I'm 22, but I'm still 21. Except for when you're watching this, I will actually be 22. I don't know if any of that made sense, but that's besides the point. We're talking about birthdays today. And of course my mom calls me while I'm recording. This video is like already chaos. Okay, anyway, so I am officially 22 when you're watching this, and I just wanted to talk about birthdays. One thing I want to point out is I have a cup of tea. It's iced tea because in Cali it's been really hot, and I have some toast. That's a reference to a Harry Styles song. If you know, you know. If you don't, well then you don't. Sorry, not gonna explain it. For anybody wondering, it's black tea. It's actually got 2 tea bags in it because I really wanted that flavor. So yeah, I'll be munching on some toast probably during this video. In fact, I'm gonna take a bite now because it looks good and I've been waiting to eat some, so. Yum. Okay, maybe I won't be munching on the toast because it took a long time for me to chew. Okay, so why did I want to talk about birthdays? Because there's like this constant feeling when it comes to like birthdays, and for me, especially New Year's more than birthdays, is the feeling of being behind. Gotta love it. So, where do I even start? So, for me, I will say, most of my life, I have felt behind in life. There were so many things that I wish I would have accomplished by 18, or as a child, I was hoping that I would accomplish by 18, and things like just being like, I don't know, kind of like internet famous or being an influencer. I really wanted to be a singer as a kid. Just like all these little things that I wish would have happened. So by the time I hit 18, I was really confused. I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're behind in life. You're trying to chase this wrestling goal, but you haven't debuted. And part of that was because I wasn't allowed to debut until I was 18 at the wrestling school I was at. But besides the point, I was like, the only thing you got going for you right now is trying to become a wrestler. And yeah, but one thing I want to point out, which I think is very valuable to my generation, is when you hit 18, for me, it was like, obviously there's no going back. I'm officially an adult now, even though I'm still a teenager. And the fact that since there's no going back, I can no longer, like, worry about having to achieve all these accomplishments by 18. Because I'm like, well, I'm here. I'm already here. I'm not internet famous. I'm not like this, like, social media singer or anything. Like, is what it is. I just have to move forward from now. So even though initially when I turned 18, it just felt like a lot of, like, pressure and disappointment, and now I just feel relieved, like, oh well, like, it didn't happen, like, you know. And plus, there was way too much pressure as a child, and for my generation now, to be big and to do these things by a certain age. I feel like with my generation, not only does our, what's the word I'm looking for, attention span, not only is our attention span shorter, but because we have social media and all these, like, big things are possible, and becoming, like, famous or having your own clothing line or makeup line or doing this and that, and you can do it as a child, there is so much pressure for us to do all these things and accomplish them as a child because we can. And with that, I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. By the way, it's a really cute cup. I got it from Yosemite. And then I went to Lake Tahoe earlier this year and realized you could get the same cup, but it'll say Lake Tahoe. So part of me doesn't feel like it's as special that it's from Yosemite, because apparently you can get this cup in different parts of Cali. But yeah, it's still adorable, and it almost looks like a little honey pot, so I definitely had that pressure. And to be fair, like, I was very hard on myself when I accomplished a lot as a kid. I had my own business at 10 years old. I started, first of all, okay, you're gonna learn a little bit about me, okay? Anybody who actually knows me knows this stuff, but this is the first time I'm, like, saying it for the internet, so prepare yourself, okay? I had a business when I was 10 years old. I started going to college when I was 12 years old. I was not graduated from high school, but I was taking college classes. This wasn't, I think they call it junior college, where it's like you're in high school and you're taking some, like, college classes, and it's a lot. Like, some people do it because it graduates them earlier, and other people do it that way they already have a certain amount of credits when they do go into college, where it's like they don't have to take those classes because they've kind of already taken them or whatever. Maybe I'm explaining that wrong. I haven't been in college since I was 16, okay? So I took legitimate college classes. Some of them were classes I needed to learn at that time, like basic math I took when I was like 12 years old because I need to know those things, while there was adults retaking those classes because they didn't graduate or they forgot or whatever. But I also took things like art in college. Like, I took legitimate college classes that people are like, this is something I want to pursue as a career, or, you know, sharpen up as a hobby or like whatever. So I did college from 12 to 16. And then I graduated. Then I earned a scholarship to become a wrestler. And then I did that and debuted, a little bit after 18, so I wasn't a child. But I've also experienced life as a child. I'm trying to think of ways that I can explain that. Like, I've done a lot of cool things. I've gone to, like, theme parks and concerts and I've been backstage places, like I've been in the Raiders locker room, the Oakland A's locker room, and maybe like that's not like a big life deal, but I mean, as a child, like I did a lot of cool things. And I mean, having this YouTube channel was kind of one of those cool things. I say all that just to be like, I put a lot of pressure on myself to get things done as a child when I could have appreciated being a child a little bit more. It's not that I wanted to grow up quicker, because trust me, I didn't even want to be a teenager when I was 12. I was like, next year I'm going to be a teenager. This is awful. So there was no part of me that wanted to like grow up. It was just a matter of making sure I did all these things before I grew up. Now you would think that I would like learn, right? And be like, stop putting pressure on yourself. But I still feel like I'm behind in life. And I go through my phases. It's on and off. Like sometimes I'm like, you know what? Chill out. Like, you know, you're 22, 21. Like you would be in college at this age. Okay? You're doing great for yourself. But then there's the other part of me that's like, dude, I wrestled my last match of being 21 back in November. Like, I didn't even get to experience the full span of wrestling at the age of 21. I only experienced it for about 4 months. So, and I know a lot of people that are like way older than me are just gonna be like, you what? Like, you're doing fantastic. You started wrestling at 17. Like, you're ahead of the curve kind of thing. And I need a cup of tea. Hold on. Okay. So now let me really get into why I wanted to make this video. So there are people that are much older than me. And by much, like, I just mean like 10. So they like, they're not, how am I saying? 10 is not like much. I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying you've experienced 10 more years of life than I have. So there are people that are looking at me and they're just like, you're ahead of the game, right? And the funny thing is this is just pressure on myself. This is not pressure on anybody else. I can look at somebody who's 35, who's getting into wrestling, and in sports that's considered like kind of old, like not old, but like getting up there. And somebody could start their first day of training at, let's say, 35, and they'd be like, you know, I should have got into this when I was younger. It's kind of too late for me now, but I'm just gonna enjoy what I can. I'd be like, forget that, man. You do you. Look at Diamond Dallas Page. Like, if you want to become a professional, if you want to get signed, I believe in you. You could do it. But then I look at me, who's barely in her 20s, and I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this was not a part of the plan. Like, you're falling behind. I hope she doesn't mind. I'm gonna use Brooke Havoc as an example because she's my friend and I love her and I support her. Okay, she is only a year older than me and she's had less training than me, but she's been able to train with a guy named Cody Rhodes. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but she has experienced 2 knee injuries. Okay, and to her, I'm pretty sure that's devastating, and I wouldn't blame her if she feels like she's falling behind. But the way I look at her is I'm like, dude, you're 22 years old, you're young, you have potential, your knees are gonna heal up great. Big reason because of your youth, but like, you take very good care of your body, you're healthy. And to me, I'm like, don't even worry about like where you are in your timeline or whatever, because you're young, you're great, you have potential, and you have so much support. Like, I totally believe in you. But then I look at me, who's only a year younger, and I'm just like, you're not wrestling, you're not doing this and that, and A, B, C, and D, so what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? And it's just so frustrating. The other thing I really want to mention is people that are in their 30s act like they're old, and it's so frustrating. Like, you don't understand how much, like, I just admire people in their 30s. Like, to me, I'm like, you got to experience at least 10 years of adulthood. Okay, I've experienced more childhood than I have adulthood, and it's rough. it's really rough. I mean, I'm sure people are looking at me like, you're privileged, you live in America, like, you look at your TV screen, you have a TV screen in other countries, they don't even have that. So, I'm not saying, like, my life is rough, I'm just saying I don't have that much experience as an adult, and at least for people in their 30s, they've at least had 10 years of an experience of being an adult. Like, 30 is not old. Can we stop saying that 30 is old? And I hate when there's 30-year-olds that look at me and they're like, shut up, like, you're 20 whatever, you don't get to speak. Like, homie, I don't feel like my life begins until I'm in my 30s. The dogs are barking a lot. I don't know, I just look at it as like, you've experienced like a good chunk of life. Not a whole lot of, well, I just look at it as you've experienced a good amount of life so far, and you can be mature, you can have more knowledge and especially more wisdom at 30. And then those who are 30 are like, I'm gonna be 40, I'm gonna be old. As a 22-year-old, excuse me, as a 22-year-old, 40 is not old. Stop saying 40 is old, because it's not. And for those who are in their 40s, I'm like, bro, you have even more knowledge and experience and wisdom and maturity, hopefully. Please have maturity, y'all. And I'm just like, you guys got through the childhood part and you got through the 20s part, okay? Like, you can start shaping your adult life to be how you want it to be. And like, I can't wait till I'm 30 and I can look back on this, and I'm sure there's still gonna be things that I agree with, that I relate with, where I'm just like, yeah, I agree with that. You're right on that. And there's other things where I'm gonna be like, bro, you were childish. And can you blame me? I'm 22. Like, I probably am childish. Although I try not to be. I try to be as mature as I can for my age, while like, I don't know, not being too serious. I just like to have that kind of like childlike fun to me, if that makes sense. More tea. Like, I get all the time, people are like, you're mature for your age. And I'm like, thank you so much. But there's also like qualities that go into being mature for your age. And it's just like, those qualities is those qualities is why a lot of people are in therapy today. Regardless though, that's like a huge compliment to me when somebody's like, you're mature for your age. Like, I have been getting that since I was a child, since I was like a teenager, so I'll take it. I guess the whole point of this is like, of this video is, I hate that people like shame on their age, and I hate that I constantly feel like I need to get ahead or be on time. And as a Christian, like, I am supposed to believe that things are aligned with God's timing, which I do believe. There's been countless times where I'll look back and I'll be like, wow, God really had me in that situation. Wow, God had me exactly where I needed to be, even when I didn't see it. Which is really what I'm leaning towards right now, because hearing that I can't wrestle still is frustrating, and it was definitely not a part of my wrestling timeline, but I mean, it's not for me to figure out. It's for God. I said that poorly. Basically what I'm saying is, sometimes I can make plans, but God knows what's better and He has things lined up. Even with the situation I'm in now, I can see how it's God's timing, but it's just like, I don't know. I obviously can't see my future for a reason, and I just have to trust that everything is lined up in the future for me as well. That was a lot there. If you're watching, thanks for watching. I don't know if I'm going to end the video here or not. By the way, I'm wearing a tank top. I just keep staring at like I normally don't even show this like much chest, and to me it's weird. So I'm like I keep like trying to cover up, you know, when like in reality I'm totally wearing a tank top, and it's a good one too. It's a Virgil Flynn one. Boom. But yeah, those are just thoughts that I've had through my mind like for years now, and I figured I would share. Figured it would be nice content, and hopefully my generation can relate. If you're in your 30s, you're not old. If you're in your 40s, you're not old. Try to enjoy life. Try to take the lessons that you learn throughout life and apply them. Understand that my generation has a lot of pressure on them to be all these things at a young age. And with that, thanks for listening to my TED Talk. I'm Mia Garcia. No, but for real, I'm Mia Garcia. It's my birthday today, so happy birthday to me. That's really weird saying the day ahead, because I'm still 21 when I'm recording this. Okay, you know already. Regardless though, please be nice to you on your birthday, and be nice to yourself on New Year's as well, because like I said, I get more of these feelings on New Year's than I do on my birthday. But this birthday, I've kind of been feeling those feelings. I hope you enjoyed whatever this video was. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off. If you like this video, please leave a comment. Let me know if I should do more of these kind of like sit down talk vlogs. I used to do these kind of vlogs a lot, but I don't really anymore. And plus, it's a good excuse for me to drink more tea. I'm gonna take a bite out of my toast since I literally only took one bite out of it. Also, please hit the bell if you want to be an early bird, because my YouTube has been kind of dry, and I have been really bored and not knowing what to do with my life since I don't have wrestling at the moment. I tell myself I should write some songs or learn more piano or draw more, but the motivation just hasn't really been there. So I've been trying to think of more things to edit and produce for content. Like I posted a couple of TikToks, and I edit my glam vlog. Please watch it. Please watch it, because I worked hard on it and I really like it. So yeah, I've just kind of been editing, and I'm trying to put out more content. So please hit the bell. That way, whenever it is I put it out, you'll be notified. If this video is your type, please give it a like. And as usual, I'm Mia Garcia. I'm signing off. Peace.